Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Go Blue. But on a much serious note, I'm really glad that this committee is on the topic and subject of mental health and substance abuse. Just yesterday, a group of bipartisan legislators met on the House floor steps, and we stood together in support of substance abuse awareness and mental health awareness. And I so sincerely hope that we can remember that stand when legislation like my H.R. 4101 Bipartisan Road to Recovery Act comes to the floor. With the help of this committee, I do believe that it can be possible. Opioids have left a trail of destruction, heartbreak, and broken families in its wake. And Americans caught in the middle of the opioid crisis need our help and support now. The opioid crisis impacts communities across the nation, but especially the communities in Michigan's 10th Congressional District. One of my constituents, a brave mother from Rochester Hills, testified in Congress about how the opioid crisis has impacted her family, taking the lives of her sons far too soon. To the leaders in Congress and in the White House, I ask you, was her testimony in vain? I certainly hope not. We all have a responsibility to end these tragedies that are going on each and every single day across America. We must be dedicated to doing the right thing to save lives, to put pragmatic policymaking ahead of partisan politics. This is why I'm proud to introduce, again, H.R. 4101, the Bipartisan Road to Recovery Act. This bill reauthorizes life-saving resources vital to addressing the opioid addiction and substance abuse crises across the country. This will ensure that those dealing with mental health and/or substance abuse disorders have access to free, confidential treatment, referral, and information service helplines. I want to thank my colleague, Rep. Cardenas of California, for his partnership on this bill, and this proves that we can truly work together to benefit the American people when we try. This opioid epidemic has reached every single one of us, and we must make sure that we devote resources to help these families. Next, I want to discuss the disastrous EV transition that this administration continues to force on the American people. I wish I had all day to express the outrage of my constituents, from automotive manufacturers to suppliers to dealers, but we don't have all day. Some have called this transition just plain bad policy. Others had called it a transition to hell. I agree with both characterizations. This administration is taking away our choice and forcing a comply or die EV mandate. This mandate's already burned billions in American taxpayer dollars on capacity that does not exist for autos that people can afford in demand that hasn't materialized yet. This infrastructure is currently not ready, and this administration is intent upon building the middle class in China on the backs of the middle class in America. Auto workers in my district get up every morning and work hard for a living. They go to work, that's the Michigan way. Meanwhile, coastal elites in the Biden administration wake up and go to the couch where they work from home. Michiganders and people from all over the country who have to work hard each and every single day to put food on the table don't have that luxury. While the administration works from home in empty office buildings all around D.C. with the ever-ballooning cost of government and ever-ballooning head count in D.C., they're gutting our local economies by mandating an EV transition that caves to the CCP, and its chokehold on the American auto industry is being felt throughout every sector of America. This administration is sacrificing the Michigan economy on the altar of their radical green agenda, and it must stop. Michigan families and workers are being left holding the bag. So let me be crystal clear. There's nothing fair about this. There's nothing right about this. There's nothing just about this. There's nothing common sense about this. There's nothing sustainable about this. This is about a radical EV transition. It's a race to the bottom for our working families, and it has to stop right here. This is designated to create pain for auto workers and pain for people at home, so they will go into vehicles that they cannot afford yet. This is designated to hurt, not to help. And we are here to help people, to make sure that we retain choice and that the government never forces itself upon the American people. I want to thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the time here today to express the sentiments of my district. And I want to thank you for your work on helping to end the opioid crisis. I, along with my staff, stand ready to continue working with this committee and with this GOP-led Congress to do everything that we can to maintain our national security, retain our economic prosperity and strength, and to make sure we make a better future for the United States of America. With that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.